Since he made loud noise during spring training this year, Ronny Mauricio has been the main subject of young talent call-ups while being the only piece of the Big Four yet to be called up for his major league debut. So now in mid-August, this subject of debate has continued over whether it's time for the Mets to call up the 22-year-old switch hitter. In AAA Syracuse, Mauricio is slashing 290, 340, 497 with a 102 WRC plus in 465 plate appearances. As a traditional shortstop and the block that it creates with Francisco Lindor, Mauricio has started to play other positions such as second base, third base, and left field with mixed results. When asked about the current state of a Mauricio call-up, Billy Epler has said that there are still things that the team needs to see before the anticipated promotion. So this has pretty much become a debate between Mets fans of what they like and what they dislike about Mauricio in AAA. Is Ronny Mauricio ready? Is he ready for the major leagues?
For this team, sure. Because again, it doesn't matter. So even if he's ready or not, you've done it with the other two. Just do it with him. You did it with all of them. You called them up when some of them weren't ready. Just do the games mean nothing. It would make some watchability to get him up here. Because, nobody wants to watch Jonathan Awa-Ooze and frickin' Danny Mendick playing every day. Like, trust me, I watched that enough in Syracuse when everybody was down there. I don't need to watch them on the real team. They've already rushed the other two. I don't know why all of a sudden, this one. And this isn't even like the Alvarez. If this was Alvarez, okay. Because we made that clear. When Alvarez comes up here, he doesn't go back. Where, we knew that was the gym, that was the piece. This is the third one. I don't understand why the other two, get them up. That was a last second throw, throw them up, get them up to screw the development. Now Ronny, in a year that they're tanking, they're like, nah, we gotta keep him hitting, AAA pitching. At this point, who really cares? There's a position open. Again, Jeff McNeil is playing outfield all the time now. So again, you're telling me Jonathan Awa-Ooze is a better major league hitter than Ronny Mauricio? That's what they're telling you. And again, I broke the news about Awa-Ooze, but I don't need to see him. I don't want to see him ever again. Again, I hated him in spring training. Still don't hate the guy, but I saw enough in Syracuse. I don't need to see him in Queens. And at this point, there's nothing to lose. Give him the ABs in the big leagues, let him play every day, and be done. It means nothing. And hell, if he sucks, you're tanking anyway, so that helps your tank. So he strikes out 4 times like he's done in the minor leagues and shit done. He just goes up there whiffing and everything. Cool. You're trying to lose anyway. So it does not matter. If he comes up, hits a couple nukes, cool. Bring some excitement. Again, like I said, make the team watchable. If he sucks, he sucks. That's the plan of the team, is to suck the rest of the year. So it goes in the plan. Just get him up here at this point.
Frank, you ready?
I think he is because, like Andrew said, it's like, what else you have to lose at this point? The guy was hitting, home run after home run, a bunch of extra base hits in spring training, in spring training, yes, and during the minor league season all year long. And then I saw a report, I can't remember exactly where it was from, but it said about Ronny Mauricio basically kind of just just hanging out in the minor leagues, where he's kind of just disinterested. He's not attached to it because he's like, what am I doing here? He knows he doesn't belong there. I mean, the guy is just, it makes sense to me because we see the numbers. He doesn't have the OPS that he did before. We're not seeing the highlights as much as we were before. And to me, it's like Andrew said, we have so many guys like Aruz and Rafael Ortega and Danny Mendick and all these guys that are just so bad. And it's like we said with Beatty, see what he's got. The only way to develop in the major leagues is, this is the time. When you're facing a bunch of bums and the game doesn't matter, this is the time to give Ryan Russo major league reps. Not next year when you're actually trying to be competitive again and the games actually matter and then he's struggling and there's extra pressure. Now is the time to get those reps in. Not next year when it really matters. Now is the time where he could see some major league pitchers, make the adjustments he needs to make, so that when next year starts, he's already ready to go. He doesn't need to learn next year when you're actually trying to compete again. So they've butchered this the whole time, and they just continue to do it. And I don't see from them any signs that it's going to change. I don't feel any hope that it's going to change, that they are going to call him up. I feel like they're just going to leave him there. And it's just been very frustrating because I want to see what the kid has. I think of all the prospects other than Alvarez, he's got the most upside. He's the guy that, to me, has the biggest ceiling, a lot of potential, and I just want to see what he's got because I need to know, and they need to know. They need to know, kind of like Beatty, are you a future piece? Are you going to be in the lineup day in, day out? Are you a trade candidate? Like, all these questions that need to be answered, the only way to find out is by calling him up and seeing what he's got. So, I mean, what more do we need to wait for? It's like Andrew said, you're not trying to win games. If anything, you're trying to lose games. And if the guy is disinterested and getting very frustrated and like, what the heck do I have to do to get called up? What am I doing down here? Just call him up. I mean, it really, it's very frustrating. I don't know if they're trying to manipulate service time and stuff like that, but it's like, come on already. I mean, let's just see what the guy can do.
If a guy is hitting AAA pitching at a great quality of contact, the results pretty much don't matter. I mean, stats in the minor leagues are so fluctuated with how it is with the league averages and how bad the pitching can be and how amateur the pitching can be at times. Yes, he has a 102 bat right now. There's a main reason why I say that minor league stats do not matter, and we look for the raw tools. The raw tools are how we project how they can do things against major league pitching. They're called prospects. They're prospects. It's about tools. It's about the raw ability that they have and what they have shown with those tools. It's not about his batting average. It's not about his OPS. It's not about that. And that's the problem that I have with, as WRC Plus and OPS have started to be used a lot more, a lot of people use this thing as a full-on Bible stat when it should be used as a resource. The thing about WRC Plus, and we'll get a little nerdy here, it's about how outcomes are weighted as to the league's run value. It doesn't show skill. It's not predictive. It doesn't project anything. The components of it are actually more simple than people think they are. There's walks, there's singles, there's doubles, there's triples, there's home runs. They're weighted to the run value. It's the same thing as OPS, but weighted differently to actual league average run value. It doesn't show quality of contact. It does not show their ability to barrel up the baseball. It does not show any of that. It's not predictive whatsoever. It's a source that you use for a player's production. Just because someone is a 150 bat 1 year doesn't mean they're going to do it for the rest of their career. I'm not saying that a 102 WRC plus in AAA is great and fine, but overall, if you look at some of the data that you see from Ronny Mauricio, max exit velo 116 miles an hour. His 95th percentile exit velocity, which is like the highest that he hits the ball at a consistent rate, is 111.6 miles an hour. The whiff rate is down. The O swing's a little bit up as compared to it. He pulls fly balls. At this point, what else does he have to do? He's already shown those tools, those elite tools at the highest minor league level. And we all know how bad AAA and how fluctuated AAA is these days. It's either the pitching doesn't exist, or the hitting doesn't exist, or it's just a bunch of wash players who suck. So what else does the guy have to do? There's nothing that he has to do at this point. And once again, we've already said it. Both of you have said it. What do you have to lose? Your playoff hopes? They have gone down the toilet 4 weeks ago. It's over. Let the guy come up here. If you can call yourself an analytics person, then look at the actual data. Don't just be looking at things that don't have the significance of what you think they do. If someone is a 102 bat, that doesn't mean they're a 102 bat forever. I think that if you are looking at underlying metrics for Ronny Mauricio, this guy has been destroying the ball the entire freaking year. The only way that to find out if he's going to be a good major league hitter is for him to hit in the major leagues.